Hey guys, I wanted to jump on here for a moment and share something that has really been on my heart today. And I pray that maybe this will help you. I don't know, maybe it will just touch your heart also and have you feel some. I don't know. I'm just going to tell you what it is. So, thanks for watching, you guys. Hashtag replay. Most of you guys will be watching the replay. So, I'm here in Vegas at the GoPro Network Marketing event. And this is my 4th year coming. And it's really a very important event. Thanks for watching, you guys. Hi. My name is Shauna, and I'm a platinum leader on the LWN team. Very, very, very blessed to be here. I was not planning on coming. So I'm here coming to you live from Vegas, the GoPro event. And I say that I wasn't planning on coming because literally last week I was not planning on coming. And I figured it out because of our fearless leader, Deborah Lehman, who was asked to be on the stage. But that's not what I'm going to talk to you about today. I do want to edify her for a moment because she's a huge influence on why you're going to want to go grab your tissues right now. So 4 years ago, Deborah Lehman, she is a visionary beyond visionaries. I don't think that people know her very well. She's not very Facebook prevalent. She's not one of the faces that you see on here a lot. So she's kind of like our silent, quiet, foundational leader. It's very, very awesome. Thanks for watching, everybody. Feel free to comment and say hi and give some loves and hearts. And 4 years ago, she had... Hi, guys. 4 years ago, she asked us to go to GoPro. And my husband and I met, and we were like, no, I don't think, it's too expensive. That's a really expensive ticket. The hotel's expensive, yada, yada, yada. Then she calls me about 2 weeks prior to the event, and she says, I feel like God is telling me to let you know that your brother, Trevor, needs to be at this event. And I was like, why would my brother Trevor need to be at this event? She hardly knew Trevor at that time, and it was very odd. I am on the LWN Business Builders page, right, guys? Can somebody give me some, thumbs up if I'm on the LWN Business Builders page, please, instead of my I just want to make sure I'm not on my personal page. Or if I'm on my personal page, then, say, personal profile, Shauna, and I'll jump onto our private group. But could you guys give me, I've not seen the comments come through. Just say, LWN or personal, and then yes, LWN. Business Builders. Okay, awesome. Thanks. I just want to make sure because this is going to be a really heartfelt story, and it's not for everyone to hear. So I wanted to keep it more private between our family. Okay, so Deb Lehman calls and says, I really feel like your brother needs to be at GoPro. And I'm like, why would Trevor need to be at GoPro? Jessica, his wife, was just starting to build. I think maybe I was an exec or silver at the time, probably silver. Jessica was probably exec. And my brother really was not supportive of the business. He hates conferences, or he hated conferences and conventions. He'd been to a ton for his work. He owned a insurance company, and he just thought they were stupid and the same old stuff, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, Deb, I'm not telling him to come to this. What, are you kidding? No, you need to tell him. I just feel. So I was like, I don't know. So I mentioned it to him. Trevor, weirdest thing, Deborah Lehman calls me, feels like you should be at GoPro. And he's like, that's weird. So she calls again. I'm really feeling like Trevor needs to be at GoPro. And I was like, this is so weird. I go, Trevor. So I call him and go, Trevor, she's insistent that you need to be at GoPro. I'm like, why doesn't she want me to go to GoPro? I'm the one building the business, and Jessica, we're doing this. We're all in. But for some reason, God just laid it upon her heart for Trevor to be there. So the prompting was so strong that we finally said, you know what, and Trevor said, he goes, this is bizarre. And if she is feeling that strong from God about it, I guess I better go. So the four of us figured out, my husband, myself, Jessica, and Trevor, figured out a way to go. We did not have a hotel room booked or anything. So we jumped in their minivan, and on the way to Vegas, we literally were booking hotel rooms because we didn't have anything. And at the time, we were not making a ton of money. I think I may have just quit my job at the church and was trying to provide an income for the family with Young Living, but also raising money for the adoption. So every extra penny goes to the adoption, or was going to the adoption. It was not going towards events or towards hotel rooms. So Matt and Trevor booked these hotel rooms online. on the way to Vegas. And, we're trying to save money. So it was like finding like a $19.99 a night, Vegas, right? $19.99 or $29.99 a night room that we could jump into that had place to stay. So the one we stayed at is called the Mardi Gras. And the one that Trevor and Jess stayed at was Royal Flush something. And Matt and I check into our hotel. Trevor and Jess dropped us off. And I think we were going to like Uber the rest of the time, or they were going to come pick us up back and forth. So we drop off at the hotel, and the room was so bad. You guys, it was so bad. Like there was a film of dust on the carpet, and then it lined the corners of the room. The dust was just disgusting. And I was looking around. It looked dirty. I don't even want to know what happened in that room. So I was like, Matt, I'm going to have to hover, like completely hover over the bed to try to get any sleep. Like this is awful. I didn't want to. I wore my shoes the entire time in the hotel room. Like getting out of the shower, I put my shoes on. It was so bad. So we get, and then I was looking next to my bed, my side of the bed, and I realized there's this nickel on the floor, a nickel. And I go, why is there a nickel on the floor? Clearly, like, nobody's cleaned up this room in a while. Maybe they made the bed, but they were, too lazy to pick up the nickel on the floor. I go, I'm going to take a picture of that nickel. I'm going to see how long it stays here. We're going to be here for 4 days, and I'm going to see if that nickel even moves an inch to see if anybody is even checking this room remotely or changing it or vacuuming or anything. So I take a picture of this nickel, and there was a bobby pin next to it as well. I didn't get the bobby pin in the picture. But it was kind of just one of those and then I said to Matt, I go, I don't know about this event or why we're here, but I will tell you, if this is going to do anything, hi, Janai. Janai and Jeff just heard this story at dinner tonight. I said, if this is going to do anything for my business, may this mark my words, I will never stay in a hotel like this again. I will never have this poverty mindset, this poverty level that I am afraid to step on the floor in my hotel room. So we go to the event, and it was a powerful, powerful event. It just was over and over and over. And the vision casting that was done and the belief that is brought to you of you can actually do this. And to see people that were, just like us, starting from not a super fantastic education or anything like that, that we're doing this as a business and being successful. For me, I started this as an adoption fundraiser. So my end goal was about $50,000. I'm like, I just need to get to $50,000. So we go to this event. Lives are being changed, all these really cool ideas and systems. We're getting all this training and all this belief and life spoken into us. And here's what I want to share with you. Events change lives. They really, really do. You may not have that moment. You might. I have many of them sometimes, but you may not have that moment at the event where you're everything's different. I'm going to be a rock star. You might. I don't know. But what happened at that event, and this is where you might, hopefully I can make it through this part. What happened at that event is my brother, he didn't actually stay in the room a lot. He kind of was I'm going to go, watch the football game or something some of the times. Because he honestly didn't care for the event. He wasn't interested in network marketing. Hi, Connie. We miss you here, Connie, this year. Connie, I have another story from GoPro about I watched your face when he asked about seven-figure earners. You were standing 2 rows in front of me, Connie. I watched your face. Yeah, I remember that moment. Anyway, so when we got home, something happened with not only myself, but with my brother, Trevor. And all of a sudden, you guys don't know the relationship between my brother and I, but he was literally a jerk to me for 40 years, 38 years of my life. A jerk. He was mean to me a lot of times, but yet I followed him like a little puppy. There's 5 of us siblings, and he's my oldest brother, and I'm the middle child. And we stayed together. I moved to Colorado, he moved to Colorado. We got in a house together in college, and we're roommates, and then we moved to Arizona, and we promised each other we would never live more than a mile apart from each other as long as our kids were in school. So if he was going to move back to Colorado, we all had to move back to Colorado. We just stayed together. We were very, very connected, even though I had some I wasn't super fine. He was just he picked on me. He's just a bully to me all the time. He's bully, bully, bully. And after GoPro, his mind shifted. And he gives me my first compliment probably in my entire life. This was maybe a couple weeks later. He gives me a first compliment. And he's like, you know, Shauna, you're really doing a good job with this business. I'm really proud of you. And I was like, holy what? Like, who are you that just gave me a compliment? And then over time, he kept giving me more and more compliments, and our relationship started to shift. Like, what is going on with my brother? After we went to GoPro, he is like shifting into this nice person. He even gave me a hug. Like, I will not forget the time I walked in the door of their house, which we did practically every day, and he's like, I'm so happy to see you. Gives me this hug. And I'm like, why are you hugging me? What's happening who are you? It was this weird, awesome shift that he did in his personality. And from that time on, the next 2 years, he was like the most amazing brother for me and continued to speak life into me and my sister-in-law, his wife, about Young Living, about just everything, about being a mom. It shifted their marriage. It shifted our family dynamic. It was awesome. It was totally awesome. And I don't know how many of you guys know, but 2 years ago, January 5th, my brother tragically passed away unexpectedly. We had no idea. We just walked in and he was gone in his house. And so I'm so grateful that Deborah Lehman spoke her heart of what God was telling her, that Trevor needed to be at GoPro, because something happened to Trevor at GoPro, and something shifted in our relationship and with the relationship of his wife and his family, and we became like even best buddies. So the last 2 years of his life, I remember him in a completely different way than I knew him from the first 41 years, or I guess for me it was 38 years of my life. And I'm so, so, so grateful that happened. I'm so grateful we said yes and we figured it out. I'm so grateful that we took the risk and the time and the sacrifice to come, because it changed everything. Tomorrow would be his 45th birthday. And I think it's really interesting that I'll be here in GoPro during that time while it's his birthday. And so I just want to honor him, and I just felt compelled to reach out to people and to say, like, this business changes lives. It's not about selling oils to people. It's about changing lives. It's about changing people. It's about building people. It's about believing in something bigger that God has you prepared for and he made you for. And when you can see a glimpse of that, everything changes. Your whole life will change. Hi, Dad. My dad's watching. Even my parents, their lives are being changed through this business. And it's not because, we love the oils. We absolutely love them. But there's so much more happening in our family. There's so much more happening in our lives that is powerful. And I will say that when you get around people, especially if you're from a place that is not in a big community, like you don't have a lot of Young Living people around you in your community, like in your neighborhood. Like Andrea literally lives down the street from me, so I can like hop over to her house just about any time, and I'm so thankful for that. And Angie and Jessica, like our little group is within a mile of each other. But if you don't have that, these kind of events like Ignite coming up in February and GoPro is absolutely the places that will switch everything for you. And Connie's watching on here too. Connie spoke that into me too, about how events really, really change people. It's just a different dynamic. And then you go home and you finally feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourself, like there is hope out there. So I'm super grateful to the mentors in my life who have spoken that into me. And I just pray that maybe this will resonate with you to some level, that and Trevor still had no desire to like sell oils, whatever, build the Young Living business. But what he had a desire to do was to be nicer to his sister. And that's everything. That's changing lives. That's huge for me. So anyway, I know that this event, I wasn't even planning on coming to this one because we just adopted and I wasn't ready to leave my little one yet. But with Deborah being on the stage, I couldn't miss that either. And our family worked it out so that everybody's good at home, and it's actually a good thing for me to teach the little one that mom's going to leave for a couple days, but I'm coming back. That's a trust thing that we're building between us. It's actually a good thing. I have a lot of peace about being here, but I just pray that you guys will find some hope in that and take the risk. I'm going to post in the comments a picture of my first hotel room here, and then I'm going to post for you guys the hotel room I'm currently in, just to wrap this all back around. So I did last minute book a room. I found a great deal. If you know me, I find deals. I worked through 4 different representatives at this hotel to find a deal that I was happy with in order to be here. But I ended up being by myself in a king room, a king size bedroom with it's got like, I'll give you a glimpse. There's like a couch, and it's very, very spacious, very beautiful, very clean. In fact, when I came in, there was a couple like cookie crumbs on the floor, and I was like, ew, but they were cleaned up right away when I got back today. But the cookie crumbs weren't for me, so I was like, they didn't vacuum again, but it was all cleaned up and beautiful and good stuff. And so I'm going to show you a picture in the comments. I'll post it of my first room, and then 4 years later, this is, if you keep going, if you don't give up, if you just keep going and you do the action steps, you can go from the nickel hotel room to, having some space and having a king size bed that you can spread out on. I mean, I'm 4'10 and a half. I don't need a king size bed by any means. I'm like swimming. My mom was teasing. She's like, you should send me a picture of you like doing backflips on it, because that's more of what I'm going to do on the king size bed here. Anyway, I love you all. I wanted to share that story of hope with you guys. Take the risk. Go for it, do it, and don't give up. Just keep going. It's been 4 years, and our lives are drastically different. I started this for a $500 adoption fundraiser, and now my next goal is to be at $500 a day in this business, and I'm not that far off. And that just, what we can do with that money to serve orphans and serve people and build people is just absolutely phenomenal to me, drives me. So I love you guys. Have a great, I don't even know what tonight is, Wednesday, and thanks for joining me. If you found value in this, tag somebody who you feel like maybe would be excited about not only coming to GoPro next year, but Ignite is coming up in February. We've got the Women's GoPro event in April. I don't know if Connie, if you're speaking at that one, she spoke at that one last year. That's a phenomenal event, is the Women's GoPro in April. So be thinking about that one. Convention in July, Diamond Bound in October, I think it is. So events change lives. Make it happen to go. You will be surprised at what can happen. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for hearing my heart tonight, and I love you all. Have a great night.